doing? We're gonna get a little bit of people. We got enough people in here. Let's start the show. What is up, everybody? Dan the Fireman. I've expertly trimmed and curated and made my beard look amazing. Tell me if you like it. I'm using Right Beard products. Check it out. So anyways, I'm gonna make sure we're gonna talk about some stupid mistakes. How'd you guys like that the video earlier today? How did you like that video earlier today? We talked about 7 stupid common motorcycle beginner stuffs, and I had a blast doing it. I made my beard all poofy. So Lynette, we have it on Spotify. We have this on Spotify. So anyways, I'd like to talk about some of the stupid mistakes I still make. All right, this is going to be a very short podcast, a very short live stream because I don't make any mistakes. Boom, done. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Yeah, just kidding. I do make mistakes. I do. Today's April Fool's, if you haven't noticed. So my mistakes are that I ride with 2 hands. I need to ride more with 1. I also ride sometimes without the GoPro in the E4K, and I need to do that all the time, so that's a stupid mistake of mine. What else do? I also sometimes ride with my phone in my pocket, not on my dash, on my handlebars. So that's an issue. Just kidding. So the ones that I truly do, obviously, the mistakes, they're more so now we're gonna get serious. Now we're gonna get a little bit of serious. So the mistakes that I do is that I honestly riding with 1 hand, having something else on my mind outside of riding is another mistake, and then obviously having the phone and even glancing at it is a mistake. These are all risks that I take, that I mitigate by wearing full gear and have training and been doing it relatively for a long time now. And on top of that, I also make sure I am focused on the road. The expert editing done by my editor, which is me, makes it to where it looks like I am constantly just talking. There's times where I just cut out dead space where I'm focused on the road, and I just cut back to the content at hand, so you guys don't see the 20-second pause here, the 1-minute pause here, and all that stuff. So I make sure that I edit it well so you don't have to deal with all that. So focusing on stuff like on the dash, on the handlebars, focusing on trying to make a motovlog when you're brand new to riding, or just not paying attention. That's a huge mistake. Riding with 1 hand the whole time, especially when there's a situation coming up and you just stay with that 1 hand, it does limit your evasive maneuvers and your braking, especially if you're for some reason taking your right hand off with cruise control. You lose your front brake, that quick 2-3 seconds it might take you to get to it. So yeah, that is an issue, but make sure you're doing it appropriately. Make sure you're paying attention. So I would love to hear what you guys have for mistakes, but I'm gonna go over. So go ahead, guys. Go ahead and comment. I'm gonna go over some of the mistakes that I went over in the video. I'm just gonna go kind of quickly on them. I'm gonna go by memory of what we did because I filmed that video last Thursday, and so it's gonna kind of be going off of memory here. So what I want to talk about is the Dunning-Kruger effect. That is a huge thing. It used to be last year. It was drinking while riding. That's still very important. That's why I left it in the video. That's why I left all those old mistakes in the video. So drinking while riding, obviously stupid. It's alcohol is a depressant. It will slow your reaction time. It will mess you up. And there's actually a really good exercise and activity that we have in the MSF BRC1 where we put on a pair of they're not drunk goggles. Do not call them drunk goggles. They are like an intoxication type goggle. Dang it, what is the name of that? I forgot. But anyways, you put on these goggles during the class, and you're supposed to walk a line with your hands to your side, counting to 9. And it literally is like your body is intoxicated, and you will not be able to walk that line. And that is after just 1 drink. That is what happens to your body itself. So that's very important not to be drinking and riding beer goggles. Yeah, I mean, they're called beer goggles in other terms, but these ones are Fatal Vision goggles. This is trademarked. This is Fatal Vision was designed by a company that MSF uses, and they've put in thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into R&D research. And so they're kind of like beer goggles. That's like the layman's term. It's like Kleenex versus, you know, tissue. Fatal Vision is like the top of the line stuff. So anyways, the MSF has a contract through them, I believe, and they get all their stuff from them. They also have marijuana goggles, but they're like, you know, it's Fatal Vision. So you can look them up. Fatal Vision, really cool stuff. But we're going to talk about the Dunning-Kruger effect. And that is where you believe you're smarter than you really are, and then you won't take criticism, or you won't realize that you're not that smart. Like, you can't. Like, it's just like this repeating cycle of bull that you're feeding yourself. So for those that are riding that believe that they're a better rider than they really are, well, when it comes to real life, reality doesn't care whether you believe you're a good rider or not. You're going to freaking get into trouble. You're gonna crash. Something's gonna happen. You feel like you have enough skill to maintain that curve. You have enough skill to brake before then. You're like, man, I'm gonna tailgate this guy. I know how to brake on my motorcycle. Bad mistake. So Dunning-Kruger effect is really bad. Let's see. I'm gonna read some of your guys' comments and mix it in with mine. So Moto BMX Man says, sharing a mistake, not looking far enough ahead of you, especially on roads you don't frequent. Yes. Per the MSF, 2, 4, and 12 seconds is what you want to do. 2 seconds is for those following distance, okay? A 2-second following distance. If you don't know how to do a 2-second, 4-second, 12-second following distance type thing, what you do is the vehicle in front of you, once they pass like a landmark, like a telephone pole or a milepost or something, you count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, or you can count 1 motorcycle, 2 motorcycle. Then if you pass it at that moment at 2 motorcycle, that means you're 2 seconds following. Okay, so 4 second is where you have enough time for evasive maneuvers. 4 seconds is when you can swerve or you can brake. Though that's the 4 seconds you want to keep an eye out on. And honestly, the 2-second following distance, I do a 4 second, like a 3 to 4 second at all times. And if somebody's in front of me and they slow down, I make sure I slow down to keep that bubble. The 12 second is where you want to look so far ahead that if you see like a red light happening, you know within 12 seconds you're going to have to stop. So you see a red light, you know the guy in front of you or the person in front of you that's driving is going to start applying brakes. So now you start hovering over your front brake, start getting ready to downshift. You know you're going to have to stop anyways. That will cut down your reaction time, and that is very important. All right, so got one for you, Dan, ENJ4321. When you are leaving a stop, shifting from first to second, and the bike goes to neutral instead of heading all the way to second, preload or what? I don't know about preload, but let's go back to the question. Is that when you are leaving a stop and shifting from first to second, and the bike goes to neutral, that means you did half of a shift. So from first to second, there's a half click, and that is neutral, and then the other half of the click goes to second. So really apply, once you get used to your bike, you kind of get a feel of what it's doing, but really apply that upswing on that toe box to make sure that shifter goes in a second. Here's the thing is that with the shifter with motorcycles is that you can from 5th gear and you slam that shifter down, it's not going to go from 5 to 1. It's going to go to 5 to 4. It has to reset, and then you can shift down again. Then it has to reset. So when it comes from first to second, this is the only time it will skip a gear. From first to neutral, it will skip from first to second. So if you do one really good full pull, it'll go from first to second. If you do kind of like a half pull, it'll go to neutral. So really make sure you pull on that up, and you'll go to second, and you don't have to worry about it going to third. I'm hoping that is what I am doing, or answering your question. So, got in an accident with my 18 Harley Roadster last week, hit by Kia around 50. Bike was able to ride to the dealership 20 miles. Tough bike. Dang, how are you, Daniel Richards? How are you? Getting hit at 50 is a terrible thing. So drinking and riding is now a thing of my past, along with the other stuff I did. Thanks to your videos, man. I'm watching them all the time for knowledge. Thanks, bro. Dell's Catering. Yeah, boy. Rakk Attack's in the house. So I'm glad you stopped. You got it to the point where... so Ronald, you stopped drinking and riding. That's perfect, man. Or riding and drinking. That's really good. You're one of the lucky ones because some people don't even make it out of that phase. And honestly, one beer, two beers, one drink, whatever it is, can really get you. Oh, I just wanted to explain it for new riders. All right, man. Thanks, man. All these those questions allow me to make these comments and these answers for everybody. Once again, guys, if you would like to help support the channel, swing on by patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman. Let's go ahead and get that back up to 270 patrons or more. Let's see if we can hit 300 by the end of April. All right, let's see if we can hit 300 patrons by the end of April. That'd be amazing. So another mistake that I talked about today was not using both brakes. Okay, so only using one brake. That was an old mistake that I had last year on the video, and I wanted to bring it up again because it's still very relevant, but I wanted to add something new. Is that if you only apply the rear brake, that's only like 30 to 40, not even that, like 20 to 30% of your braking power. Okay, let's jump back real quick. So stopping distance. Okay, stopping distance, the total stopping distance is from when you recognize you have to stop to the point you stop. So that's total stopping distance. That includes reaction time, that includes applying the brakes, and that includes the final stop. So you need to recognize, apply it, and then finally stop. After you apply it, you're basically just, physics is taking over at this point. So there's those three aspects of that: reaction time, applying the brakes, and then actually stopping. So if you have a terrible reaction time, if your reaction time is dumb, stupid, if it's terrible, it doesn't matter how good your brakes are. You're gonna hit whatever it is you're trying to stop in front of. So this is where paying attention, making sure you are focused on the road, head on a swivel, is very important. Because if you can cut your reaction time down by a lot, you're already starting to do good. All right, so applying the brakes. Now it's a matter of the motor skills, where you're actually going to reach over and apply the brakes. So you got the front brake and rear brake, and this is where the two brakes part come in. And also in the third part, where the actual stopping distance, where the moment you apply the brakes to actually stopping, that plays a big part with both brakes. All right, so now that we kind of got over the reaction time, let's say you reacted very quickly. So now that we're applying the brakes, so let's say you only apply the rear brake. So that's about 20-30% of your braking power. Your total, your stopping distance now, the third part, is going to take forever if you even stop in time, okay? Because it's only 20-30% of your stopping power, and then on top of that, there's a good chance you're probably going to lock up your rear brake, which is going to cause you to do a low slide or high slide, depending if you let go when you're not in line. There's a bunch of other stuff. So basically, at the end of the day, do not just use the rear brake. Okay, so let's say you just decided, you know what, I heard rear brake is only 20-30%, so that means the front brake is 70-80% of your stopping power. So I'm just going to use that instead. Okay, let's say you do that. So your reaction time is really good. You use your front brake only. You don't even touch your rear brake, which is on your right foot. It's a pedal. You apply it with some gradual increasing pressure, but you decide to just use the front brake, which is on the right hand. It's that right lever. Okay, cool. Your stopping distance is better, so it's shorter than just the rear brake. But remember, you're doing 70-80% stopping power. Why aren't you using 100%? So if you just use front brake, let's say it's like you're doing it, cool. Now you're getting to the point where you're about to hit the person. You're like, crap. So now you just smash it. You just grab it really hard. You lock up the front tire. You low slide, high slide, depending on how you're turning the handlebars if you're not squared up. And now you crashed. Okay, cool. Well, not cool. So now let's talk about using both brakes. So now you are applying both brakes during the braking phase. Okay, cool. You're applying the both brakes. You're doing it correctly. You're applying the rear brake, applying the front brake. Now you start feeling the front, the weight transfer to the front. Okay, well now there's not a lot of weight transfer, or not a lot of weight on the rear tire, so therefore the rear brake is going to be almost useless. So now you can start to release. This is advanced. Now you can start releasing the rear brake and applying even more front brake once there's more weight on the front tire. And we talk about that in the MSF when we do quick stops. So sign up for the MSF course down here in Arizona, Phoenix, Casa Grande, Tucson, Marana. Yeah, boy, Sierra Vista, right, Arizona MTC. All right. Exactly, Rakk. That's really good. I always use rear brake first, then start to apply the front. Yeah, because you'll start slowing down, and then once you start slowing down, weight transfers to the front tire. So when weight transfers to the front tire, that's when you can start applying your rear brake. And one thing that to really drive this home, if you're at home right now, if you're sitting down or you're in the car and you're obviously using your right, foot to drive, don't do this. So please don't do this. But if you're sitting down at home or you're listening to this later, I want you to put all the weight on your left foot. So like, let's say you're standing up. Put all the weight on your left foot. Now it's standing up. Now move your right foot across the ground. So all your weight is on your left foot. 0 weight is on your right foot. Move your foot across the ground. You see how it slides? Okay, now put like maybe, like a 1/10 of your weight on that right foot. Now try to slide it. It's getting a little harder, huh? Even if you could do it. Put about half your weight. Now just stand there. Now try to move your right foot. Now put all your weight on your right foot. Try to move it. It's not moving, is it? There you go. That's your front brake. That's your front tire. Once you have weight transferred to that front tire and you can apply the brakes even harder, it won't move. All right. Yeah, boys. Yeah, boy. Brake maintenance. How to check your brake maintenance, Miguel Marcos said. During a pre-ride check. Okay, you want to do a quick pre-ride check, and this was actually one of the stupid beginner mistakes that people make, is that they don't do a pre-ride check. Now, a pre-ride check, people are thinking, oh, I'll just take a quick look at my bike, and I'll just look at it from afar while I'm walking up to it. That's not a pre-ride check, guys. That is not a pre-ride check. You want to go take a look at your bike. You want to look at the front tires. You want to just do a quick glance at the front tires, see if there's any damage to them. You want to take a quick glance at the rear tires, see if there's any damage to them. Look underneath the bike, see if there's any fluids just like pulled up. You want to do a quick check with the front brake. Grab the front brake, squeeze it, pump it a few times. Hey, okay, it's got some resistance. It's supposed to be like that. Grab the clutch lever. Okay, it works. It works. That's good. That's good. Miguel Marcos, boys. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for the super chat. Once again, everybody, if you would like to support the channel, please, please, please swing by patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman. It's only $1 a month. 3 cents a day, and you'll be feeding my beard essential oils and stuffs from Riot Beard Company. Get your beard products, Riot Beard Company. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, pre-ride check. Take a quick look at your chain. If you have a chain, take a quick look at your belt. See if it's doing okay. The chain, make sure there's no rust or missing linkage. Just do a quick look at some of the wires, and take a quick look at your brakes. How to check your brakes on that is that you just do a quick look, and if it looks like there's not a lot of meat left on those brake pads, it's about time to replace them. If you have never replaced your brake pads at all, and you've done some pretty good riding, it's probably a good chance that you need to be checking them even more and more. Especially if you start losing some power on your braking, you definitely want to check them, because you don't want to replace your rotors. You want to replace your brake pads. Once you get to the point where you're damaging your rotors, that gets more expensive, and that becomes a huge issue. So double check your brake pads. They should have, just like tires, a wear bar. So on the brake pads, there's like this piece of metal that kind of sticks out a little bit. If you have enough meat on your brake pads, it's not going to be anywhere near that piece of metal. But once that meat gets closer and closer and closer to that metal, you start hearing metal on metal. No, that's too much. So this is why you need to double check, and do not skimp out on your brakes. I would do a video on brake pads, but there's already a great video that I believe Fortnite and motorcyclist.com has done. So double check them, see how they're all about. But I went and got my own brake pads, easy to replace. It just takes a little bit of YouTubing to figure that out. All right. Another one was taking turns too sharply. Taking turns too sharply is a very stupid mistake. It's not one, I mean, I was gonna say it's not one I make, but you know what? Sometimes it is one I make. And taking a turn too sharply can have obviously adverse effects on your body and on your bike, is by crashing. You do not want to crash, take a turn too wide, and you crash. So the real reason why, Daryl, that's 99 Philippine. It's a little bit different than U.S. standard dollars, but I still like it. Thank you, Miguel Marcos, once again. You're always here donating and supporting the channel. So guys, if you would like to donate and support the channel, there is the super chat option, there is the Streamlabs option, there is the Patreon option. That'd be great. So anyways, taking turns too sharply. So one of the best ways to not do that is to just slow down before you get to that turn. Make sure you set up your speed well, okay? And when I say that I accidentally do it sometimes, I think I set up my speed very well, and then when I'm going through the turn, I realize I didn't. So the best way to handle that is to not apply the front brakes in a turn, not apply the rear brakes in a turn. Best way to apply that is to roll off the throttle smoothly. Do not just go from 50% throttle to 0. Gradually but smoothly reduce throttle input and lean even harder. And pray. That is what I do. So, but the best way to prevent that is to approach it at a slower speed. You could always speed up smoothly. It's easier to speed up smoothly during a turn than it is to slow down. Because when you start slowing down, it's because you're starting to panic. And when you panic, you make bad decisions. In order for you to speed up through a turn, because you took it too slow, it's not because you're panicking. It's just like, oh, I can take it faster. So, that's it. I'm going to be opening it up to you guys. I would love to hear your stories. It is a Monday. I hear some cool things. So I got Miguel right here, about to get my A2 license. Been in Spain for 2 years now, so the city and street signs are new to me. Should I start with the smaller CC or go straight to the 500, 650 CC? I would probably go to the 500, honestly. Because if you're going to get your A2, I'm sure you're going to start progressing even more and more and more and more. And also, it depends on if you're going to be doing city riding or, you know, through the country type riding. So city riding, smaller CC is good. So that's all you're going to need. 500 CC, I don't know how far your towns are apart. If you're going to be traveling from town to town, you might want to try out a 500 CC. But either way, the concept is the same. Clutch, throttle control, braking maneuvers, body position. Drivers around here, so JTW drivers around here just slam on their brakes a lot, and stopping quickly needs to happen far more often than I expected. That is why I give myself that 4-second space cushion, that little cushion, that bubble. I don't trust the 2-second anymore because people just slam those brakes, and honestly, brakes nowadays on cars and 4-wheel vehicles, on cagers, are very good, and I'd prefer not to deal with that. Let's see. I got out of too fast turn that way yesterday. Nice, JT. We saved yourself. Gingerbread 600. Hey Dan, I have a question. A guy wants to trade his Buell XB9R for my Katana 600. What's your professional opinion on to deal with that? I don't have very many professional opinions. Buells they have a special place in my heart because they don't make them anymore. And it really is what you want to do. If you love your Katana 600, don't even worry about it. There's probably a reason why he would like to trade for that. So unless you're looking for the Buell, I would just say yeah, all donations do help. So thank you, Miguel. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's really cool that YouTube does that. But if you would like to get more information, if you would like to get actual like tips and tricks, we have the DDFM crew manual, so a lot of parking lot exercises. It's open to $1 patrons and up. $1 is the lowest tier that I can put on Patreon. But yeah, patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman. And if you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine because the parking lot exercises are actually on my YouTube. You just have to find it on the How to Ride playlist. But the DDFM crew manual has its own website. It's easy to use, and you don't have to mess around with trying to find a playlist. You can actually get the diagrams on how to set it all up on patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman. My girlfriend just shot me down on getting my... Oh, wait, one sec. I know you have probably done a video about this. Probably, Austin. But how do you deal with tailgaters? I've been dealing with them a lot lately. So tailgaters, if it's safe for you to get out of their way, just get out of their way. Let them rush to the next light. Let them rush over to where they need to be. I just wouldn't even deal with them. If you're able to get out of the way, like if it's a 2-lane road, just get to the other lane, let them pass, and get back in your lane. If it's single lane road, honestly, you could probably just pull over real quick and get back on, because that's gonna be like, Tango, did I skip point? Where did I skip you? Did I skip you, Tango? I hope not. What'd you ask, Tango? What'd you ask? Anyways, I would pull over just real quick, let them pass, and get back on, because not every driver is going to be like that. And if they are, then pretty much just screw them. Honestly, at the end of the day, screw them. If they kind of get on your ass, just ride your own ride, man. So, Rakk Attack. My girlfriend just shot me down on my way to getting Scott Bauer at the end of the year. She wants me to wait till next August so I can get my Fat Boy Heritage instead. That's not too bad. She didn't say no to everything. She only said no to one thing. Nothing but tailgaters in my death zone on my way to the neighborhood. Like, I know that holding your foot on a car's clutch even slightly can burn the clutch over time. What about the cable clutch on a bike? It can, Tango. At the end of the day, though, if you're at a stoplight and you're holding in the clutch because you're in first gear and you're ready to get out of there, clutch cables are pretty inexpensive to replace. Okay, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. The thing is, if you get hit, I mean, that right there, you're screwed. So for you to be in first gear holding in the clutch, perfectly acceptable. Just got it 3 days ago. Couldn't be happier. Nice, Will. Yeah, boy. Always check your signal lights and brake light if it's working if you ride, guys. I almost had an accident. Yeah, so double check. And that's another thing on the pre-ride check is checking your lights. So turn your bike on. Check to make sure. I always click the hazard light button. That way it blinks all the lights. And that way I can check each one of them without having to push, you know, okay, left turn signal. Now I'm going to look. All right, cancel. Right turn signal. Now I'm going to look. I just put on the hazards and I could check every single one of them. And I just do a quick walk around. So guys, I just had my class. Did you guys see my posts on the Instagrams? I just had my class. All 5 of them passed. It was awesome. Oh, shoot. Before I even go any further. Dang, I'm sorry, man. Simon, thank you. He's a patron. He sent me a nightlight type thing and a beard comb. So he sent me a beard comb. I got it right here, man. I was going to make a post, and then I realized I have to set it all up, and I've been pretty busy this whole week. But I got a 3D nightlight. Because I asked on Patreon, hey, I'm going to put some shelves up here. And I haven't put shelves up yet, but I'm going to put some shelves up here. And he got me a 3D nightlight. Okay? And the 3D nightlight is a Harley. So once I get the shelves, it's going to get up here and it's going to be lit up. And here's the cool thing. Go ahead and get in here. It's got a freaking remote. It's got a remote, so I can change it to flashing, it can dim it and all that stuff, so it's pretty badass. I still got to plug it in and turn it all on. But he got me a freaking Harley flashlight. Harley nightlight. There you go. Harley nightlight. So thank you, Simon. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I really do. I'll be putting it on my shelf when I have it. And then also, you know, of course, the SHEA knife. Got the SHEA knife. So if you guys would like to send me something to where I put it on the shelf, I'm going to have some shelves here. I'm going to set it all up nice and neat. And I'm going to put your guys' stuff on there. That's going to be the DDFM crew shelf. I honestly do not decorate myself. I'm terrible at decorating. So if you want to send me stuff so I can decorate and you can see it on all the live streams, well, there you go. There you go. So thank you, Simon, once again for the badass nightlight, bruh. I can't wait to plug it out. You'll start seeing it on all the shows. So if you would like to send me anything, I have a P.O. box. Okay, I have a P.O. box. There you go. So if you want to send me anything, let me know. Do it, and it'll be on the show. They'll be on the show. Also, if you would like to support the channel, there's Patreon right there. Boom, boom. So anybody have any mistakes that they continuously make, bad habits? Another bad habit that I have that I'm going to include on the next one, because we had such a great response to the 7 stupid beginner motorcycle mistakes. We actually got 2 in the comment section that I'm going to add to the next one. Leaving the side stand down. And then, shoot, what was the other one? Leaving the side stand down. Oh, man, what did I wrote it down. The leaving the side stand down. And then there's another one. So that's 2 right there. Another one I'm gonna include is riding with bad fuel. So like, let's say you leave your bike in the garage or somewhere for like about a month or 2, and then you go out for a ride. You might have a messed up carburetor or some fuel injection lines. It might get all funky. So like, riding like that is not a good thing. So if you're gonna be doing something like that, just real quick, if you're gonna be doing something like that and leaving the bike out for that long, you're going to want to put in some type of fuel cleaner, like fuel injection cleaner, or fuel stabilizer. That's what I'm trying to say, fuel stabilizer, so you don't have those issues. Hey, where's what I want to go back to what he said. Turning too fast on gravel. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. So yeah, the next video probably during this week, 'cause I got some other stuff that I plan on doing. But today's video has gotten a really good response. So not doing a pre-ride safety check. Somebody just mentioned that in the chat. Leaving your kickstand down, forgetting to turn off your motorcycle, riding with bad fuel, and forgetting about your engine cutoff switch. Now, this is something that if you use your engine cutoff switch, you know, the button on the right side, if you use your engine cutoff switch and then you get back on your bike and you turn the key and you're like, why isn't it turning on? I'm hitting the start button, it's not turning on. Oh my gosh, there's something wrong with my bike. And then you start taking things apart and you're like, oh crap, it was just the engine cutoff. So it's a stupid mistake, and it's just a matter of troubleshooting. And then same thing with the it's not turning your bike off. So let's say you use the kill switch, right? You go in, long day, super tired, you're thinking about the beer that you're gonna have or the food you're gonna eat. You got this on your mind. You park your bike, you turn, or you hit the kill switch, you know, the engine shut off switch. It's not a kill switch, engine shut off switch. And you hop off the bike, you're still thinking, you go inside. You left the key on. You're draining your battery now. You are now leaving the lights on. You're leaving all this on. So you go back out there the next day. You're going to go ride. Dead bike. So if you're going to use the engine shut off, make sure you twist that key so you don't have a dead bike. It's very important. Very important. So leaving your bike on is a dumb mistake. I haven't done that yet because I had the bad habit of always turning my key off to turn the bike off. That is a bad habit because you want to practice like you play. Every single time you get on a motorcycle, you are practicing. So practicing taking my right hand off and turning the key to turn the bike off is a bad habit to practice. The good habit is to use the engine shut off. Now that we're shut off, turn the key to shut it all the way off, and then either turn the engine shut off back on or leave it off, and there you go. The reason why you want to practice the engine shut off all the time when you stop is because in an emergency situation, the muscle memory, boom, quick. Instead of taking your hand off the handlebar in an emergency situation and turning it off that way. So that is why it's a bad mistake. So I don't have the issue with forgetting to turn off my motorcycle because of my bad mistake. So my bad mistake helps me with a good mistake. So yeah, riding with bad fuel, and then leaving your kickstand down. So some motorcycles, if you leave your kickstand down, you cannot start your engine. And so like you're sitting there like, man, what the heck? Why am I not? Why I'm hitting the start button? I got the key on. I got the engine shut off on, or like off, I guess. It's not. You know. It's on. I'm pushing the start button. It's not starting. What the heck? Or it starts because you're a neutral. You start off for neutral. For that reason, but you still have your kickstand down. You pop it into first, it shuts off. You're like, what the heck, man? There's something wrong with my bike. Your kickstand is up or down. Yeah, your kickstand is down. You gotta go put it up. It's a mistake. It's not a deadly one. It's not a. I mean, it's a safety feature on motorcycles. So make sure you have that. One thing that can happen though, that is very important during your pre-ride check or while you're riding, if this ever happens, is that when you are riding and you're going down the road and all of a sudden your engine shuts off, you might want to check. If you've already done all your troubleshooting, you might want to check to make sure your kickstand or your side stand wires are not messed up, because you could have an issue where your side stand, either the spring or anything, it might have like dipped down real quick on a bump. If it has a weak spring, it could have triggered that safety mechanism, shut off your bike mid-ride. That could be scary. So double check that. That is one thing that I'm going to add to my list for filming. Let's see. Leaving side stand down. I'm going to leave a note. Bad spring. I'll remember that later. All right, so what did I go? I just went on a little rant there. One mistake I catch myself on is I leave my key in the bike, not on, when I step away in a parking lot. Necro, Angelo, I've done that a few times, and I'm like, oh crap, where's my key? And then I go outside and the key's still in there. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so glad somebody didn't steal my bike. Because all I have to do is turn on the bike and bloop, get out of there. Iron Maiden Babe, I'm quite a new rider and I keep making mistakes with rev matching when I downshift. Any advice? Well, you're rev matching. Are you trying to engine brake? Maybe I'm having a brain fart. I can't think of why that's an issue. Because you don't want to downshift with it not matched up with your speed. You know, if you're slowing down, your engine speed, your engine revolutions are going to go down. So that when you downshift, it matches, so you don't have disproportionate revolutions going from the engine to the rear tire. Because if you do and it's not a smooth transition, you're going to have a squealing of the tire, so you're going to lose traction. See, that's where I'm trying to get at. So Tango 47, apparently putting the alcohol-based gasoline antifreeze will eat your carb diaphragms. Yeah, so alcohol-based gasoline absorbs water. So once you start getting water in your fuel, it's not water, it's water vapor, but it condenses and turns into water. It becomes a huge issue for your carb and fuel injection. Who here actually does a pre-ride safety check? Show of hands. Nikki. I do but I don't do it often enough. You're supposed to do it every ride. I do a quick look. I'm used to going on shift at work and doing a full-on inventory check, a full-on everything to make sure I'm absolutely prepared. So for me, it's just a matter of looking at the bike and remembering how it felt the day before, doing a quick check on some of the bolts that I feel like could get loose. So the ones that I'm going to start checking now is the breather bolts on my air intake. And I do take a look at the tires. One thing I do need to start doing is checking the PSI on my tires. That is a huge thing. But I'll start feeling the bike's feeling like a little like squishy, and then like when I get home that day, I'll wait till the bike cools off, and then I'll pump them up. So CVT bikes, including scooters, have better clutches because they are built into the bike, so there is no need to hold it. Yeah. I forget to put my foot on the brake to start the bike. Nothing happens, and I think it's the battery. Yeah. Sometimes you have to have the front brake or just any brake applied in order to even start the bike. So that's something that I'm finding out, and it's not. You notice how the title says "Stupid Motorcycle Mistakes I Still Make." It's not stupid beginner motorcycle mistakes like the video title earlier today. So stupid motorcycle mistakes, this is generalized mistakes. And one of them that I'm finding out, Rosemary, that was a good comment, is that out at Ride Arizona MTC, there's a bunch of different bikes that you have a huge range to pick. And I have to get them ready for you guys when you come out there. So each bike has its own quirks. So some bikes, the kickstand can stay down and I can start it and it'll be fine, and then I can kick it up and then get going. Some bikes I can't start unless I pull in one of the brakes, or I press the brake or pull in the front brake. Another one is it won't start without the clutch pulled in. Another one, it won't start without the choke, because it's like, oh crap, I'm used to fuel injected, now here's a carbureted one, so I got to put the choke on. So I mean, there's so many different things. It's so many different things, and I still do them. My stupid mistake is still the kickstand. Kickstand's down, engine won't start. I still just pull him up and I'm good to go. Try to start, no start. Rouser Wolf Rider, engine cutoff switch, freaking hilarious. I actually did that to one of the students. He was one of the students actually took the class. I won't say his last name, but Dakota. He took the class because of this channel, and he knew I was gonna be coaching. And he was doing fine, and this was like at staging, and he was about. I hit his shut-off switch just for funsies, and we're laughing about it. We're having a good time. So congrats, Dakota. Congrats, everybody that went through my class this last weekend. Everyone passed. There's three brand spanking new riders out of the 5. 3 absolute brand new spanking riders, and they did wonderfully. Beautiful riding. I think Dakota might have been the most improved. Went from 0 riding to probably the just amazing. Like, I feel super confident for him to be on the road. So if you guys ever want to swing by ridearizonamtc.com and take a class. We have beginner classes, we have advanced classes, we have bike bonding classes. We have a bunch of stuff in Phoenix, Arizona, Tucson, Arizona area, Sierra Vista, all these other places. So definitely check it out. And I coach for them. So I'm going to get, hey Rudy, I'm going to get my advanced rider certificate as quick as I can so I can come coach you. I know you said you wanted me to coach you. I'll come coach you. All right, and if I can't, I'll at least be there. I'm still trying to keep my helmet on every time I ride. Like my corner store is a quarter-mile straight up the street, and I'm quick to hop on my Telefonica unprotected. Telefonica and unprotected. Yeah, definitely throw it on. If you're just going to be going to the corner store all the time, at minimum, just get a 3/4 helmet because they're so easy to take on and off. And at least this way you protect the side of your head. You're not going to protect your face, though. That's the only problem. So ENJ4321, I have 3 bikes and 2 of them are scooters, so I don't always do pre-ride checks. I should, though. You know, same thing. So like, whenever you do a pre-ride check, obviously on the bike you're gonna ride. And then you start feeling the quirks of it. You know, it's like the bike's a little squishy. Might be the tires. They need some more air in them. You know what I mean? Tried to hug somebody with their helmet on and whacked them. I pre-ride check on Tuesdays. Work schedule helps me determine which day. Oh, boys! Tango just became a Patreon member. Thank you so much. Everybody say thank you to Tango. Everyone say, what is up to Tango47? If you're on Spotify, he just became a Patreon member by going to patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman. Who here? Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. That is awesome. That is awesome. That's where you went, patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman. Who here today? Today's April 1st. Who here today has been on my Instagram and saw the new bike that I got? Anybody see the new bike that I got? I sold my Harley today. I went and got a new bike. Did you see the picture of the new bike? Badass bike. It's a badass bike. Let's see. So yesterday, we didn't have a live stream yesterday. Saturday and Sundays, I don't have live streams. Monday through Friday at 5 p.m., we have a live stream. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I have a video that comes out. So 8 videos a week. Thank you, Tango47, for pledging and becoming a senior crew member. I'm actually going to write your name right now in the description because that is a perk. Do you want Tango47 or do you want a different name in there? I just added Tango47 to the live stream chat. Live stream description, and then I'll be updating it for future videos. So thank you, bro. I think we are at, 253 patrons today. The first week of the month, a lot of patrons drop off just because the bank and Patreon don't like to communicate, so it's going to jump right back up. So if you are a patron or you used to be a patron, you're wondering why you're not on Patreon anymore, it's because your bank said no and declined it. So make sure you jump back on Patreon. You should be getting an email from Patreon saying, hey, come check it out. So Zero Cool, don't know if you can help, but is there a way to make the clutch lever easier to pull? Adjusting your clutch lever. You can adjust your clutch lever. So if you get an adjustable lever itself, that way you don't have to reach so far. Are you talking about in terms of it's like a super hard pull? Let's say like with firearms, for instance, as a comparison, is that some standard firearms have like a certain pound pull. Like it's like it takes a lot to pull with the finger, and then you can lighten it up so it's like super easy click, almost like a mouse. You know, it's like a click, 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 click. So are you talking about the lever as in it's like super hard to squeeze, or it's just so far out? Show the new bike. I'm assuming the new bike is April Fool's joke. Nicholas, yes, everybody, I did not sell my bike. I'm not getting a new bike today. It's April Fool's. Come on now. It's an April Fool's joke. I will be making an extra post on Instagram. I will be making another one saying I bought my bike back from the guy. So, anyways. Tango47, you are in there, man. Thank you for helping out, man. Yeah, ENJ4321, I didn't get a new bike. The Elsinore boots you have are they true fit or do they run big or small? They are true fit. just remember that if you're going to be putting your jeans in or any type of riding pants inside the boot, just be aware that these boots are tall, so they do encompass your calf muscle. So if you have massive calves, you might not have room. They kind of are adjustable with the buckles, but not too much. And so just be aware of that. Lynette, right? You can buy something called an easy clutch. Yes, depending on your bike, you can buy... Oh, so you said it's a hard pull, getting cramps. Okay, so you can buy something that's called an easy clutch. They do make clutches that have an easier pull to them. Adjusting the pulled length can help. So that way you're not pulling all the way. So getting adjustable levers will be helpful in that aspect. So getting a combination of an easy clutch and adjustable levers would be very helpful. So Michael Snow, what 125cc bikes would you recommend for a beginner like Europe A1 licenses? If you're in Europe, they do have some full body 125cc bikes. So a sport bike that is at a 125. I don't recommend a Grom or a Z125 because of how tiny they are. They're fun bikes. I recommend that aspect, that they're fun, but they're like a fun 125. You can get like a full built motorcycle as a 125, and I would prefer getting something like that. So there's a Ninja 125, correct? Something like that, to where it's almost like a full body. That way you have a lot more room to play with. So that if you ever jump up to like a 500 or a 300 or 500, you start getting higher and you want to maintain that same style, you're not having to relearn a whole new bike. You're just having to relearn the power of that bike. I would get like a Grom or a Z125 if you just want to have fun and you don't plan on doing anything else. Finally home. I rode for 7 hours today with my big... Dang, dude. 7 hours? What are you doing, Dan? Hi from Brazil, Salvador Afonso. Hey, buddy. Thoughts on the HD Street 500 for a new rider? I rode the HD Street Fighter... Or Street Fighter. HD Street 500. That's what you meant. HD Street 500. Whoa, Miguel became a patron, boys. Thank you for becoming a patron. I appreciate it. Make sure you check out the DDFM crew manual. That is one of your perks. You get a bunch of cool stuff. Thank you so much. I like the 500 in the aspect of I got used to it really quick, and it has some decent power. It's fuel injected. It's water cooled. All those cool things. The one thing I didn't like about it is the price. And then the second thing I didn't like about it is that it was lacking a lot of technology for that price. So an HD Street 500, what I would get instead would be the Rebel 500 with ABS, or just Rebel 500, or Scout 60. That's pretty... Honestly, there's better options out there. If you really like the HD Street 500, and you like the looks, you like everything about it, there's nothing wrong with it. That's your choice. But I think there's stuff out there that I personally would get over the HD Street 500. Tiger Lenley 10, do you watch Fortnite? Yep, I do. I like his stuff. I highly recommend Fortnite. I just saw that Fortnite just came out with some proprietary motorcycle gear. I'm going to check out that video. I haven't watched it yet, but I highly support him. I support Moto Jitsu, Fortnite, MC Rider, Bike and Bird, Moto Noob Rider, Blockhead, John Maxwell, and a bunch of other motor vloggers out there. We're all, just killing it, doing our best to make this a career, and then on top of that, provide you guys with valuable information. The only reason why we're all growing is because hopefully we're providing you valuable information. You're not subscribing to me just because you like my voice. I mean, if you are, that's cool, but hopefully I'm providing you something, you know what I mean, that you're able to take away from this. Thank you, Dan. I had to deal with high winds today on a fast highway for a long time. I remember you saying use your knees to control the bike. It helped me so much with the wind. Thank you. You're welcome, Dan. It's crazy. It's just like one of those simple things that you would never think about until somebody says it, and then you try it out. That helps out so much. What he's talking about is if you're having a high wind blast, let's say you're riding and then the wind blast, or the wind, it's a side wind hitting you from, let's say, the right side. Okay, so stick out, instead of your knees tucked against the tank, leave your left knee tucked against the tank and then your right knee pulled out. You know what I mean? Because if you have wind hitting you on to the right, you're going to have to lean into that wind in order to still maintain a straight line, because it's going to want to push you off if you stay upright. So what you can do instead is you can still stay upright, or more so upright, but then have your legs stick out so you have more of an aerodynamic pull. I forget what it's called, drag. You have more drag on the right leg. That way it'll still want to turn you right, but you can stay more upright, which will save your back, save your arms, save everything. So, yeah, boy. Thanks again for the knife, Dan Shea. Got my knife, just in case anybody comes in here. We're almost at 80,000 subscribers. I just recognized that. We're almost at 80,000 subscribers. I shouldn't be throwing that around. That's a Damascus knife. It's highly, highly sexy. It's a sexy knife. Look at that thing. Damn. Anyways, almost at 80,000 subscribers. Here's the thing. 1% of 80,000. What is it? Everyone, real quick. Real quick. 80. What's 1% of 80,000? It's 800. Okay. So if 1% of all subscribers swings on by, and I'm not even going to say join Patreon, but if 1% of subscribers swings by motorcyclebeginnersguide.com, I could go ahead and probably buy a truck, and that will get me on the way to doing the USA tour. I'm serious. Swing on by motorcyclesbeginnerguide.com. 1%. If half a percent swings by that and Patreon, I could probably do my USA tour with a truck and trailer, with my motorcycle, and I come visit you guys, coach you guys. I had, where's it at? I'm gonna find the video. I went teaching this last weekend, and I learned so much. I am so excited to just come meet you. So excited to come meet you. So here's the look at that. This was earlier. This was yesterday. No, this was Saturday. If you guys want to come out and you wanted to be a part of what I do out here, swing on by patreon.com. This was at Ride Arizona MTC. I had a blast. I had an absolute blast coaching. That's me in the orange. I had a blast coaching. If you would like to swing by for MSF courses, Ride Arizona MTC. This is me out on the range with the set of 5 people that I had to coach, and it was a blast. We do this in Phoenix. We do this in Tucson. We do this in Marana. We do this all over Arizona. Just not Flagstaff. But you can come on down. But look at this. I'm out here coaching, having a blast. But if you just swing by patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman, you'll make it possible to I can come out and coach you real quick, so I can get you prepared for an MSF class of your own. I can get you prepared to take the DMV test if you need to. There's no substitute for an MSF basic class if you've never ridden. There's no substitute for an MSF advanced class if you've been riding for a little bit. Absolutely no substitute. Look at this. This is me. Look at me. Look at my beard. Look how badass that is. Yeah, boy, I'm going to zoom this in. Look at that. Boom. Look at, oh, man, I'm getting so tan. Oh, yeah, look at that. Woo, buddy. Bob Easy, boy. Yeah, with the super chat. Bob Easy. If you're on Spotify, what you missed was a really interesting and badass video of me that my wife took while she brought me some delicioso lunch on Saturday, this last Saturday, while I was out coaching for Ride Arizona MTC. But swing on by motorcyclebeginnersguide.com to help support the channel. Motorcyclebeginnersguide.com is 50 plus pages of information to get you ready to start motorcycling. It's to start your journey motorcycling. I talk about gear guide. I talk about what a motorcycle, like what kinds of motorcycles are out there. I talk about motorcycle injuries and how to prevent them. I talk about so much stuff. I can't give it all away. But guys, motorcyclebeginnersguide.com. That's only module 1. I have a training manual. It's module 1. I'm going to have module 2, module 3 coming out real soon. But guys, like I said, start your motorcycle journey right. Thank you, Bob Easy. Tiger Ryan had me going for... Tiger Ryan? What did I miss? Yeah, I'm going to take this on my camping trip. So, for you jumping in late, guys, what kind of motorcycle mistakes do you still make? I make a few here and there. Not too much, but I make a few here and there. I tend to ride with one hand. The US has literally the simplest courses ever, although I prefer the incremental European system, limiting you to a certain amount of CC so you can develop your skills. More powerful bikes are available. Michael Snow, I actually heard that there might be a federal motorcycle thing coming down the pipeline. Wait, no, I might be wrong. It might be Arizona. Arizona might be coming down with a incremental type thing that Europe has. I could be wrong. I'm gonna double check it. I know it's April Fool's today, but that is something I heard a couple months ago. So I'm gonna actually look into it a little bit more. Tango 47, how about my mirror placement? That is a mistake. I would say it's a risk that I gave myself, but it would be a mistake for a new rider. You know what I mean? If anybody doesn't know, I have one mirror on my bike. That is all what's required legally in the state of Arizona for mirrors. They say nothing about mirror placement, so what I have is my mirror is underneath my left handle grip, and it normally goes up top. I can still see pretty well though, but once again, as a new rider, I do not recommend doing that, so don't do that. My problem is looking too good on my bike because people keep staring and almost running me over. That is an issue, Dan, that I think all Dans have. So Dan Shea, we all have that, especially if we have beards and ride Harleys. You know what I mean? Dans that have beards and ride Harleys. Honestly, it could be any bike. Any Dan can ride any bike, and they're gonna get almost run over because they're looking so good. I forgot to adjust my mirror. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt. Yeah, sometimes that happens. I never adjust my mirror. Just kidding. I do sometimes. Going to turns too fast, mostly when it's long bend in the road with a decreasing radius, Nicholas says. Yeah. Decreasing radiuses are scary, honestly. If you don't know what a decreasing radius is, let's say you go into a turn and it's just this nice, smooth arc. That is a normal turn. A decreasing radius is like, it's a nice, smooth arc. Oh, we're going sharper now. That is a decreasing radius, and that gets you quick. And it's scary. So you always got to be on the watch out for that. Forgetting to signal when changing lanes and also turning my head. Yep. Turning your head is probably the most important thing. Signaling is I would say it's behind turning your head. Turn your head is the most important part. I'm going to turn this video back on because I look so good in it. I like the orange shirt that they got me. Riders on MTC. MSF courses, boys. Look at that beard. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Anyways, incremental licenses aren't bad. I honestly agree with you, Johnny135, that they're not bad. But to go back to the United States Constitution is that a government limitation on what you can do is infringing on your freedoms. At least that's what I believe. So as somebody that is 100% about safety, if I have my safety hat on, I'm going to say I'm all for incremental licenses, but I'm also going to put my United States American flag bald eagle hat that I have and say, you know what, screw that crap. Don't tell me what to do, government. That's where I'm at. Yeah. Dan, how does your helmet fit on your head? I don't get it, man. I don't know how. I have to keep getting a bigger and bigger helmet every year because my head gets so big. Boys, that's what she said. I look ridiculous. My beard sticking out from under my helmet about 8 inches. Looks goofy. Yeah, I'm almost there. Yeah, you can see in my videos, you can see the beard poking out the bottom now. It's pretty crazy. Bob Easy says, forgetting to turn my blinker off. I'm actually going to put that down. Because that right there is a common mistake. And it's something that normally it's okay to do. But you're forgetting to turn off your blinker. Normally it's okay to do, but here's the thing is that when you give somebody a false indication of what you're going to do, especially on a motorcycle, it can be dangerous. So everybody, this was the DDFM show number 10. Number 10. Swing on by the Discord. I just posted a link. The Discord is a giant chat room where we all get together. Oh, it's still bugged, the Patreon thing. Okay, that's stupid. I'll have to figure out how to fix that. Come on down. I get distracted easily. Come on down to the Discord. It's absolutely free. The Discord's absolutely free. If you would like to get a full-on guide on how to do things, motorcyclebeginnersguide.com. But if you would like to support the channel, if you would like to support the show, and allow me to keep eating food because I'm getting so hungry. If you'd like to help support that, please swing on by patreon.com. Once we hit 500 patrons or get close to it, once I've figured out how to budget, with what we're getting from Patreon, I'll be able to come travel the United States with a truck and trailer, and hopefully I'll be able to get a Rebel 300 with full crash protection so that when I come out, I can have you hop on the bike and practice and train, and I can show you and get you ready so you don't crash your own bike. There we go. That's exactly what I want to do. I cannot wait, and I'll be swinging by your city soon, boys. So swing on by patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman to help support. And if you would like to subscribe, we'll be doing another show tomorrow. I'll be seeing you tomorrow at 5 p.m. See you on Spotify. Bye, boys.